Hey, everybody on YouTube. I'm coming at you from a different angle. Change of perspective. I'm looking sideways instead of looking forward. Uh, yeah, I didn't shave, so there's a beard. You can see my Santa Claus hair coming in. That's what happens when you get older and you worry too much. Your hair turns white or gray. Maybe I got really scared and my hair turned all white underneath. At least this shit ain't going that white yet. But see, there ain't all that much fucking white hair in there yet. I don't know. And I'm almost 50, man. 3 more years and I'm 50. Yeah, that's pretty insane. So today's morning video is good morning all. Have a good day. It's going to be beautiful here in Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada. In case you're not in Canada. Because if you're not in Canada, you probably have no idea where Winnipeg, Manitoba even exists. Or if it does actually even exist. Not a lot of people know about this place. But, as I said, this is my YouTube channel. This is where I am going to vomit all of the shit that's in my head. And I'm going to vomit it at you. Whether people are actually watching my channel or not is kind of a bummer. I'm having a hard time finding subscribers and finding my niche and all that kind of stuff. And it's a little bit of a growth production. As I go, I shall get better at this and not be so nervous about talking to potentially millions of people on the internet. It's kind of weird, kind of freaks me out a little bit, but as I said, I hope my microphone's working. The microphone on my laptop here with my webcam that comes with the laptop ain't all that great, and hopefully when I acquire some income, I will upgrade my gear so I can have a more clear video, and I can actually take the camera with me when I go do stuff, and I can not only videotape me, but other things, so you're not just staring at my ugly mug all the time, because there is some really cool shit and some really weird fucking shit that happens in this neighborhood all the fucking time. And now that I've got my little GoPro, I'm going to see if I can get that thing working today. I don't have a micro SD chip. That's my dilemma. So I thought I had one lying around, but I don't. So now I have to either steal the one out of my Samsung camera and see if it'll format to the GoPro, because the GoPro is a little more useful to me at the moment. And I'm going to try that. See if that works. And then if that works, I'm going to bring my GoPro with me and attach it to my vest and wander around all day and see what it captures. Who knows? It's just a test experiment. See if the video camera actually has what it, advertised to have. Sometimes what something says it has and what it actually has are completely two entirely different things. So this is like, for my sports HD camera. And no, I'm not picking my nose. That's me playing with my nose ring. Anybody who has a nose ring knows what I'm talking about. We all get accused of picking our fucking nose, and we're not. We're just whittling the nose ring. I can pull my nose all over the place with it. I've had this thing in my nose since I was 13 years old. That's a long time. Yeah. Same with these guys. I've had these pierced forever. Not wearing any jewelry in them right now because sometimes when you wear jewelry in these all the time, they continue to stretch and they just keep getting bigger and bigger. And this is about as big as I want them to be. I don't want them getting any bigger. So no more heavy plugs in my ear, and no more leaving them in like for days on end and all that kind of stuff. You got to take them out, clean them, all that kind of stuff. Yeah. The care and cleaning of jewelry and piercing jewelry is something not a lot of people take seriously, but even after the piercing's healed, there are things that can happen if you don't keep the damn thing clean. Even this thing, after 3, almost 4 decades of having this in my nose, it can still get an infection. Just because the wound itself is healed, the hole is healed, doesn't mean shit can't get stuck in there and, do what shit does when it gets stuck places. Cause an abscess, like an ingrown zit, whatever. Yeah. Oh, I'm looking away because my ashtray's over here. Oh, look, I can see my ashtray in the video camera, so I don't need to look at it. Aren't they amazing? I wonder if I can get my coffee cup. Check it out. Look at how freaking talented I am. Woohoo! I got my coffee cup without actually having to look. Yes, I'm a Harley Quinn fan. think Harley Quinn is an awesome cartoon character. And one of the coolest villains other than the Joker that exists. Yeah, the Joker and Harley Quinn are like my two favorite comic book villains. They're pretty awesome. But yeah, so that's the gist of this video. Good morning, all. May the universe bring you to a good place today, and may your day take you to a even happier place, and may your evening be beautiful. I'll probably post a later video today when I get back from my my walkabout and my adventure. Gonna go for a rip and see what I can find. Enjoy the beautiful, nice day in Winnipeg, because you know, we get winter here, and it's pretty much hibernation season for the whole time winter's here. It is freaking cold, man. Winnipeg gets fucking cold ass, and it sucks in the winter because it's cold ass, and you got to wear like 4, 5 layers of fucking clothes just to go somewhere. Even if you're just going across the street to the corner store, you got to bundle up like you're gonna go for an Arctic journey. So yeah, now that the summer's finally approaching and spring is finally here, I'm going to go out and enjoy the weather and absorb as much vitamin D as I possibly can. And completely off note, if anybody in Winnipeg, Manitoba sees this video and knows how to use clippers and can follow a nice line, I really need to get this shit buzzed off. It's getting too long, and unfortunately, I can't see this part of my head. So I need somebody who can see this part of my head to shave it for me. The rest I can do on my own. Just this part I can't see. Been a hairdresser for a long time, been doing my own hair for many, many years. Just this one little part right here is the part that I can't see. Yeah, and if I could see it, I can do it myself. But since I can't see it, I can't do it myself. Right? I guess I could if I got all, you know, finagly with mirrors and shit. But that's when you're cutting, everything goes reverse, and then you got to do everything, you know, backwards land, opposite world. No, thanks. It's confusing and pain in the ass. Just easier to find somebody else who can actually buzz it for me. But being that I'm a hairdresser, I don't really want to pay anybody to do it either, because I could just do it myself and wish for the best. So yeah, but if anyone, you know, in my city that is available to do something like that for me, I would really appreciate it. Smoke a joint with you. I love marijuana. Marijuana's great. It's the most best thing that ever happened to humanity. And if more people smoked pot, the world would probably be a much more tolerant, much more loving, and a much more caring place. People would care for each other a little more often. Hey, look, I can see Frank the Slip's aquarium from here. Frank the Slip is a young ball python. I got him. He was just like a hatchling. He was only like this big when I got him. And now he's like, my hands would go wider than the video thing. But he's almost, I guess, 2.5, almost 3 feet long now, from like this long. And it's only been like 4 months since November. Yeah, so he's growing big, and he eats like this thing goes through, you know, small rats, like, I don't know, like a garbage trash thingy. I don't know, whatever eats garbage really fast. Whatever eats fast. He eats fast. He eats a lot. Like, from what I've read and researched and stuff, ball pythons are supposed to be kind of skittish, spend a lot of time in their hide, and, you know, eat once a month, once every couple of weeks, 3 weeks, you know, to a month or so. And my snake pretty much eats regularly, like clockwork, every week to every 2 weeks. And he's just continuously shedding and continuously growing. It's weird. And he doesn't spend a lot of time in his hide either. He actually likes to go and rip around his cage and hang out on his tree and do things that most ball pythons don't normally do. So Frank the Slip is a pretty fucking cool snake. I have to say that he's got character, and even though he's completely trapped in there and can't get out, he still tries constantly. He's constantly probing for a way out. There's just, I got clamps along the whole top, so there's no way he's opening that unless I want it open. Good luck, Frank. Keep trying. That's your nature. Gotta look for a way out, always. But yeah, so hopefully I catch some pretty cool shit when I'm out today, because the other day I was going to go do that, and then I fell into this big trap of, like, you know, camera's not working, battery's not charged, and then I ended up not actually going anywhere. So played video games all day instead. And yes, I do play video games. Primarily the games I play are Destiny, Destiny 2, Fallout 4, and the Far Cry series. My favorite one of the Far Cry series so far has been Far Cry 4 because you can fly around in those little gyrocopters. Man, that makes taking towers and taking out outposts like so easy, man. Just get yourself the grenade launcher and a helicopter, gyrocopter thing, and then just find your, if you don't care about ringing alarms and setting off alarms and shit, and you're not really worried about that, just hover above the freaking camp and keep dropping grenades on them. Eventually, you're going to kill them all and they can't shoot you because you're too high. It's pretty cool. That's the reason why I dig that game so much. But Fallout 4, I love the Fallout 4 series a lot, but I have my disappointments with Fallout 4. Like number one, the freedom of choice we had in Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas was amazing. Like almost every interactive character you could interact with opened up a whole new storyline and a whole new possibilities of different missions and shit to do. But with Fallout 4, it's like they force you along this path. You don't have a choice. You either have to side with the Minutemen or you have to side with the Railroad, or you have to side with the Brotherhood of Steel. And personally, man, from my perspective, the kind of person I am, I would never side with the Brotherhood of Steel. Basically, they're just Nazis in a new uniform. They're like Hitler all over again, minus the genocide. Because the Brotherhood of Steel, all they want to do is collect all the technology, hoard it for themselves, use it themselves, because they've deemed that they're worthy of using this dangerous technology. And their whole entire premise is the reason why they collect and hoard this technology is to keep it out of the hands of the people so that, science doesn't destroy the world again. Like, no, man, every chance I get, I shoot Brotherhood of Steel and I take them out and try to make them my enemy as soon as possible. I do not like the Brotherhood of Steel. They do not represent a free and ordered democratic type society. They're more like a dictatorship. A military cannot rule or run any kind of social system. It just doesn't work. The military is based on a dictatorship. Rank. Top of the food chain has all the say, and everybody underneath just must obey. So that's the Brotherhood of Steel. So that's why I don't side with them. It would be nice if the game gave us options and gave us more dialogue, more choice, more freedom of choice. Like if I don't want to side with the Minutemen, there should be a way to make the Minutemen and the Railroad work together for a common goal. You should be able to do that. And I have heard you can, but I haven't figured out how to get the two to work together yet. They just end up thanking me for not killing the synths at the end. And if you don't play Fallout 4, you have absolutely no idea what I'm talking about. But yeah, another game I really dig too is Borderlands. But with Destiny and Borderlands, I have a similar complaint. Borderlands, not so much, because with Borderlands, all of your online competitive multiplayer stuff, that's optional. You can play Borderlands from beginning to end, complete every mission, have access to all the same really cool gear that group players get, and yeah, it's just that's pretty cool with Borderlands. With Destiny, on the other hand, I have a very big complaint with Destiny. There are missions and achievements and goals and gear rewards and all this kind of stuff that if you don't compete in the multiplayer competitive arenas like the Crucible or the Raid Strikes or the Vanguard Strikes or the Leviathan Strikes, you miss out on a whole crap load of really hard to get gear and stuff that's of a power level that's of any worth to anyone. Like I've gotten all of my characters to a power of like 322 to 330, and they've all maxed out in level. But every mission and every solo player thing I do, I'm getting like gear that's like 319, which is like, anywhere from 4 to 6 points below what my power level is, and it's all useless to me. So what I end up doing is I end up just breaking all this shit down for its like legendary shards and its glimmer and stuff. And that's kind of pointless. The Destiny should not force people to play multiplayer. If they don't want to play multiplayer, they shouldn't have to. I should, being a single player, have the same options to get the same gear that everyone else does. And with their raids and their like the Crucible. With the Crucible, in most situations in the Crucible, when you join in, they have what's called auto matchmaking, which means if the mission requires more than just you, they match you up with people that are looking for the same thing. They don't have, friends in the same freaking country in the same damn timeline that they can hook up with and play as a group. Because I have friends on Destiny. It's just that I live here in Canada. One of them lives in Australia. Another one lives in Japan. A couple live in Russia. So how in the hell are we supposed to get together and play as a team when uh, I'm asleep? My buddy in Australia is awake. When I'm awake, he's asleep. It's the other side of the world, man. Like you can't force people to do shit like that. And these young kids that are playing these games, they don't get it. They don't know they're being taken advantage of. For lack of a better word, man, they're getting ripped off. Because I've now purchased almost $600 worth of video game with Destiny and Destiny 2, and I haven't been able to complete either game. In Destiny, the first one there, I couldn't complete the Iron Banner missions because as soon as I got to Wrath of the Machines, I couldn't go any further. And that's the first mission in that whole quest line. But it's a mandatory 6-person fire team. If you don't have at least 3 people, you're never going to complete that mission. I have tried for months to complete that mission, and there is so much going on, and so many things you have to do, and so many enemies you have to kill. If you don't have at least 3, 2, 3, maybe 4 other players on your side, on your team, you're never going to complete that mission, and you're never going to be able to finish the game. So I spent money on something I'm never going to be able to complete. It's an incomplete game. So my suggestion to them is if you're going to make a game that has all this multiplayer mandatory crap, well, if you could make auto matchmaking for the Crucible, you could make auto matchmaking for the Leviathan raids. You could make auto matchmaking for every single mission in that game that requires more than one player. So if the game requires you to have a fire team of 3 or more, the game should auto matchmake you with other people looking to do the same thing, because there are hundreds of thousands of people like me who enjoy the game but can only play it so far, and then they have to put it on the shelf and let it collect dust because there's just no point in playing it again. Once you've done the missions, you know them. And the other thing I find kind of disheartening about Destiny 2 is they keep making you do the exact same effing missions over and over and over again. They just change the difficulty on them, but it's the exact same fucking mission. Like I don't know, I've done the Mercury missions. I don't know, 100, maybe 200 times now, and I'm bored as shit of them. What gaming guys have to remember is the old school ideology of boring, repetitious, redundant gameplay is boring as shit. The other thing I gotta say is after you've spent about 5 minutes in the Crucible, I'm bored as a motherfucker. I don't even want to be in there anymore. The only reason why I go to the Crucible is just to get awards for certain achievements that are available that day, and I don't really even participate that much anymore because these kids run around and jump around like fucking Mexican jumping beans. They don't even stay on the ground very much, and with the auto matchmaking thing there, they're getting a group of ragtag fucking random people who don't know each other, throwing them together into a mission against a team. A bunch of guys who are friends and communicating with each other and coordinating their actions against a bunch of people who aren't even talking to each other and are just running around like a bunch of fucking chickens with their head cut off. One piece of advice about the Crucible. If you're playing like Take the Flag or the one where you got to score other people's mark. Well, why in the fuck run away from where you are? When you spawn in that game, you're in the perfect place for an ambush. Most places have at least one place on the map where your back is completely covered by walls, and there's only 2 points of egress. So if you've got 3 people with you, one on one hallway, one on the other hallway, one stands in the middle, nobody's fucking getting anywhere near you. Because before they get close to you, you can see them coming and you can take them out. The other thing that does is it bottlenecks them, so they have to come in through the hallway. If they're coming in through a tight space, it's harder for them to get cover and avoid your ammo, avoid your shots. So my advice to kids, When you're playing those ones, don't fucking go anywhere. Wait for them to come to you. Make the enemy come to you. And then you've got the home field advantage. You can set yourself up in a place where they can't shoot you, but you can shoot them, even if they're doing the Mexican jumping bean stuff. Because another thing kids don't seem to realize, what goes up must come down. So if you know anything about tracking a target, as they're going up, you just get a good beat on them, just ahead of them as they're going up. Once they hit their apex, just follow them on the way down, and you'll see where they're about to land, and just aim where they're going to land and keep firing until they do. And when they land, they're dead. Or you can shoot them on the way down too. Tracking those kids that are doing the jumping bean thing ain't that hard. I've managed to whack quite a few of them, and they get very, very upset when you kill them a lot, when they think their infallible jumping around strategy is going to save their ass. It don't. It doesn't. So there's my rant about video games. Yeah, and Fallout. They Fallout 4. They need to make more choices. You know, like I spent about $150 on the digital download. Can you believe that? Digitally downloading a video game is more expensive than going out to a video game store and buying the video game in the plastic package with the paper liner with all this extra environmentally bad garbage. Costs less than digitally downloading the video game offline. That makes no fucking sense. Being that a digital download has no real physical form in the real world, it's all on the internet, it should be cheaper. There's no plastic waste, there's no recycling cost, there's none of that crap. So I don't get it. Sometimes shit just don't make sense, man. Part of the reason why I made this channel is because, to be honest, most of the shit in our society does not make fucking sense. It's completely ass backwards. It doesn't work right. But yeah, so good morning, everybody, and that's my rant for the morning. And I'm gonna go and shave and get cleaned up for the day, and hopefully, if I'm lucky, get the sides of my head shaved. That would be nice. Get rid of this fuzziness and get the bald back because I like it nice and slick and smooth on the side here. So that's what my day is going to be, and hopefully I catch some really cool video. Maybe I might run into something pretty interesting that, you never know. You never know what the day holds until you get up and start walking around outside, not on the computer. This stuff is good for looking at and for entertainment and for killing some time or whatever, but the reality is life happens outside your house. Life happens in the real, where the trees and the grass and the sun and the wind are, not in your living room sitting on a couch staring at a television screen. That's not where life is. That's not where life happens. So enjoy your TV programs by all means, but if the weather's nice and the sun is out and the breeze is cool or warm or whatever you like, take advantage of it, especially if you have the time, because in our day and age, not many people have time for leisure. So make time. Make time to connect with the planet, make time to connect with the trees and the animals and the fluffy bunnies and the slimy snakes, which really aren't slimy. I have a snake. Snakes are not slimy. They actually are pretty cool. They're like this great big long tube of muscle. They're pretty fucking awesome. But yeah, so everybody, you guys have a great day and enjoy what you can of the day, and just be kind to each other. Remember your kindness. We're all in this together. We're all on this ball of dirt together, and we all have to live on it together. So let's start being a unified species, and let's start working together to make this a better place for everybody, not just those privileged few that inherited ludicrous amounts of wealth. They're not evil people. They just don't know any better, because when you're that rich, you don't feel reality. You're not living in reality. You're living in this la la land that doesn't see what most of the rest of us have to put up with on a regular basis. So don't hate the rich. Just hope they have a change of heart and a change of perspective someday. Someday, I hope. But peace out, everybody, and I will chat with you later today when I get back from my walkabout, because hopefully I'll find some cool shit out there. Much love. Peace.